Checking out the lighting. It's not very good. Yeah, that's much better. Hello, everyone. Okay, so today um, the webinar is going to be how to treat yourself and to motivating yourself to exercise. And I hope you enjoy it. If you can write where you're watching from, if you're watching live or if you're watching the replay, just let me know where you're watching from. Any comments you want in the box. Um, yeah, and so I'll start by showing slides. So I'll do a quick introduction of myself. But first of all, I'll just speak to you about. One second here. Yes, that's good. So I will start by just telling you about the agenda for today. So today's agenda will be the webinar will run for about 30 to 5 minutes. So I'll talk to you about my why, so why I do what I do. And then before I start and dive in, I'll read my disclaimer. And then talk about an overview of the importance of exercise, just like a brief overview, because we all know why we need to exercise. And then talking about the motivated and unmotivated, so what makes one person motivated and what makes the other person not motivated. And then my 3 fixes, obviously there are more fixes, but in today's webinar, today's webinar, I will be talking to you about my 3 fixes, and then we'll wrap it up. And if you've got any questions, put in the chat box. And I can't get the answers to you today. I will definitely follow up and get the answers to you, but I should be able to answer simple questions. So, who am I? My name is Abby, A-B-G-Y for school, and I am a health and wellness coach, basically lifestyle, and I focus on the body, mind, and spirit. So try to work with all 3 together to be able to achieve my goals and the goals of my clients in a nutshell. And so why do I do what I do? So a while ago, so I had my kidney issue and also chronic back pain, and I had been on conventional treatment for over 20 years, and decided to try something else because I wasn't getting any better. I was getting more symptoms. I decided to do some research, and this was an opportunity to help myself get better so I could function. And that began my journey of my research, finding out the pros and cons of different systems, trying out trial and error of different systems on myself. Some worked, some I could have got worse, and then eventually I found what worked for me. And so I came up with my own program, which I use in my clients. So that's it in a nutshell about me. So my why, being able to achieve what I need to do, to be comfortable and not to be in pain all the time, to be healthy, because once you're healthy, you can achieve anything. and that can be that can actually keep you stuck before the happen. And obviously, exercise movement is a great part of being a lifestyle. So it's not just a fad; it's kind of built into your routine. And we'll talk more about exercise, why some people are motivated and some are not motivated. And I fell into the category of unmotivated. I'll do today, I'm taking 5 minutes time, and jump into 5 days, into 5 months, 5 weeks, 5 months, and never getting to do it, keep procrastinating and not doing it. And we'll talk about the reasons why that is. So before I go on and dive right in, I will just give you a disclaimer. So then all the information I give you out today is provided as an informational and educational purposes only, and should only be used and should not be used as a substitute for any health provider. It is not a magic button or like popping a pill to get results in an instant. It does take time. It is a process. This is not a quick fix solution for a quick fix solution person. So I'm a bit tongue tied today. Why? What I share requires work, dedication, and commitment on your part. Please consult your healthcare provider before making any healthcare decisions or for guidance if you have any medical conditions. I'll just check because the last time I did a webinar, I had a problem with my sound, but today it all seems okay. So I'll share my screen. Okay, so that's the disclaimer out of the way. The importance of movement. So just talking about movements, you hear some people, I mean, I've actually said this myself, I hate training. There's no way you will catch me doing that, you know. I don't like going to the gym. I spent money in the gym. I go for a month or two and I give up. So I'm not really a gym person. And a lot of people like that. So people like the gym, which is really great because it keeps you in that routine. So what separates the people that like to exercise and for those who don't? Um, is it that we fear the discomfort of exercising? Because sometimes with some exercises it involves pain, it involves like just being out of your comfort zone. I remember when I was practicing to do the 5 mile run, um, that was a bit discomforting. It wasn't very comfortable for me to get up every morning and practice, and especially when I just started, I couldn't know how to run, stop, walk, run, stop, walk. I couldn't even do half a mile without stopping. So that's kind of can put you off, and I had to learn within an 8 week period to be able to run. So that can put you off and can be discouraging. Some people do the exercise because they want to lose weight, and it also slows down aging and prevents anxiety and depression, as we know. It's good for managing stress and can protect the size of our brain. So we know all these things. Why don't we do it? Why do we give up? Um, so how can we motivate ourselves? We know research shows, and from my experience, I know that it's nothing to do with self-power, self-discipline. So there are techniques that get yourself moving, but it's not because you have a weak person. It's just that self-discipline. It's not sustainable. It might work for a short period of time, but it's not sustainable and it's not going to just check if there's anybody in the chats. Okay, so I'll continue. So how can we motivate ourselves? So we might be approaching exercise completely with the wrong attitude and the wrong mindset. As we said earlier, exercise is important for good health. So what are the facts regarding individual exercise and individual exercise? So are we intrinsically motivated to do stuff? Do we need extrinsic motivation to carry out what we need to do in terms of any goal? Have we have an internal locus of control. Is there do we what's our self image, self worth, and do we have a kind of do that? These things matter. So let's see the next slide. Okay, and before we get on to the next slide, so I'll just break down what I've just talked about. So being intrinsically motivated. Um, that's the natural um, ability, the natural joy of wanting to do that. So you don't really need any motivation because generally you just feel to do it. And there's some people like that. They love doing it. They wake up at 5 o'clock, they go to the gym, and then they get off one and go to work. And it's no problem for them. But for most of us, for the likes of me, that can be a problem. Um, so um, so that's the factor for some people. For some people, um, they they might give themselves rewards, um, but the research shows that actually weakens your motivation. So give yourself rewards because you've done an exercise doesn't really work long term. It might work short term, but it doesn't really work for the long term. And then do we have an internal focus on knowing that we are responsible for our health, we're responsible to do things for ourselves. And if you've got an internal locus of control, you find that you are better at being motivated. Um, and also self worth. When you love yourself and have self worth, I do a lot of work on self worth because this is something that I struggled with in the past. I found that a lot of things that we tend not to do or we don't like about ourselves is kind of like a symptom of lack of self worth. So to work on those issues can increase the sustainability of doing anything that you want to do. So not just for exercise, but anything that you want to do. And also having that I can do attitude, not being positive about doing things is really key to and very important. Just checking the chat again, going back. Um, so for today, I've got three fixes. Obviously, there's loads of fixes. The physical, we can do mind fixes, but I've chosen three to talk about to you today. Um, so my fix number one is mindset change. So we are. This is very passionate for me in terms of mindset because with anything or any goals that we set, anything we want to achieve, with our mindset, we're conscious of how our subconscious minds affects the way we behave or affects our goals, then we're more likely to achieve what we want. So we'll be present and we understand that the subconscious is very important. So in terms of the conscious, we are 10% conscious, and people say 5 and 95. I'll take this one. So this is, I guess, more positive. So we're 10% conscious mind and 90% subconscious. So conscious is where we have the willpower, um, we have long-term memory, logical thinking, and critical thinking. So this is where we say we know we can decide what we want to do. We can decide what's right, what's wrong. We hear things and then we kind of analyze it to find out what works and what doesn't work. This is our subconscious mind. But we are mainly run by our subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is really different from the conscious mind. So the subconscious mind takes things that you say to it. So if you say, I am stupid, for instance, that's what the subconscious mind takes. Your conscious mind says, okay, no, I'm not stupid, and does all the reasoning. But what we don't realize is that the subconscious mind takes it as we've said it. So we continue to say that, a few months' time or years' time, you start to act the way because that's what you believe subconsciously. So we usually portray what's in our subconscious mind. And that's why it's always good to be positive about things with feeling. So affirmations is a good one. That's why people do affirmations. But the thing is that most people do affirmations. Why they don't work is that they do affirmations without feelings. Affirmations I find are best when you ask a question, so phrase it in terms of a question as opposed to in terms of a statement. Because when you phrase it in terms of a question, then your brain looks for the answers and gets the answers and works out the answers for you and the how and everything. So and also one thing with the subconscious mind is the understanding is more of feelings than of words. So if you're saying, I am brilliant, for instance, but you're not feeling that you're brilliant, or you're saying, oh, I can win that race, or I can do that exercise. Yes, I can do that exercise. But you're just saying, I can do that exercise as words. It doesn't get it. But yes, I can do that exercise. Brilliant. I'll wake up tomorrow and 5 o'clock and I'll be up in 10 minutes and I'll get dressed and I'll go to the gym. And you're saying it with feelings and passion, it's more likely that over time you will start to do those things because it's, like I said, the subconscious mind. Oh, sorry, alarm clock. The subconscious mind understands the feelings more than the words. So it's about working on your mindset. So standing in front of the mirror with feeling and saying, "Yes, I can do this. I can motivate myself. I am motivated. Not that I can. I am motivated to do the exercise, whatever exercise it is." So the mindset change is very important to work on, extremely important. And for anything, um, the mindset change is usually the first step. So if, for instance, you wanted to lose weight, it's mindset change. You need to first of all find out your why. So if you wanted to exercise, why is it that you're exercising? And you might initially say, I'm exercising because I want to lose weight. But is that the real reason? And the steps that you work through, going asking yourself six whys up to six different levels to get the real reason. So I want to lose weight. So why do I want to lose weight? I want to lose weight because it's summer and I want to be able to get into my swim suit. So why is that important to you? So you ask yourself till you get to the final question. You might find out that your final answer is completely different from the original answer. And this is how you keep your sustainability because when you know the real why, which could be buried really deep into your subconscious, it's not sustainable. This is why a lot of times we have the yo-yo reaction. So we stop, start, stop, start. It's not the only reason, but it's quite a strong reason that why we give up on our goals. I just go into the chat and check. Yeah, it's all fine. Um, okay, so fix number two. Choose something you love. Very important. Choose something that you love. Sorry about that. I didn't even know my phone never rings. Okay, so choose something you love. Um, it's very important. So you might think if I walk for 1 minute or if I do something for 1 minute, that's not going to have an effect. Yes, it will have an effect because it's all with the mind and mindset. So you do something that you love, you achieve it. So you walk for 5 minutes, um, you achieve it, then you kind of think, oh, that wasn't bad. You do another 5 minutes. Or the next day, you go, I've done 5 minutes today, I'm going to improve by another 5 minutes tomorrow. Once you achieve it, you're more likely to be encouraged to want to continue. But if you so set goals. So set goals that not only realistic, okay, definitely realistic, but also goals that can you can achieve. So if you set a goal, so you might want to, for instance, do a 5 mile run within the next 2 months, for example. But you might decide, okay, I want to do a 5 mile run in 2 months' time. That's my goal for 2 months. Chunk it down. So maybe week one, I'll just do 500 yards. I'll just do 100 yards, you know. Um, meters, I guess. I do 100 meters. Um, and, and, and once you achieve that run without stopping for 100 meters, or 50 meters, doesn't matter, it can be as small as you want, you find that once you achieve that, you intrinsically you encouraged to go further the next time. And before you know what's happening, you're already doing the 5 miles within the 8 weeks. Because when you look at it as 5 miles, it looks so large, and that's really discouraging. But if you just chunk it down and say, for the first week, I'm just going to do 100 meters, and and then you increase it gradually, that really works, and that is one good way of achieving your goals. So, and then choosing something you love. So you might, like for me, I don't like going to the gym. When I'm there, I'm fine because I like the weights and everything. But you don't have to do that. There are exercises that you can do that, or you can join a program that can. For me, going to the gym is about muscle building because once I think once you hit age 35, you start to lose muscle quite quickly. So it's important because not only does it look good, for me, I do it because when your muscles are in place, especially your core muscles, it helps your organs internally. So it's not only that you get a six pack, but it's also healthy in terms of your internal organs. It keeps it in place and it helps from keeping it from being inflamed. So for a healthy lifestyle, this is why exercise and movement is important because things are kept in place and as they should be, which helps you to be healthy. Um, so um, yeah, choosing what you like and what you enjoy is extremely important for sustainability in terms of um, health. Okay. Do you want to come out of this accidentally? So fix number three, which I've chosen, is internal locus of control, which is so the internal locus of control is I control my destiny, and the external um, locus of control is they control my destiny. So, for instance, in terms of our health, which we're seeing a lot of these days, is a lot of us rely on, for instance, the government to have that decision making in terms of our health. Um, and I guess it's kind of like easier because if something goes wrong, we've got somebody else to blame. But the thing about the blame game in anything is that we lose we lose our empowerment. So when we become a victim, you lose your empowerment. You see yourself unconsciously, subconsciously, as not capable of doing whatever it is, because you all the blame is on the other person, or whether it's the other person's fault, or this is happening, or is this thing in place that's why I haven't been able to do this. So it's taking that responsibility and having that control that I can choose what I want for myself. So whatever you think about, whatever you choose, creates your reality. And a lot of times, why we don't create the reality that we want for ourselves is because our mindset is in the wrong place. Because we've got limiting beliefs. So a limiting belief can be something like, "Oh, I'm not okay. I'm old, so I can't run." Because we have been brought up to believe that as you get older, you lose that ability to run or to be fit, which is not true. It's actually false. We might not be able to run as fast as when we were 20 years old, but we can still run the same race. We might not beat the same record. I mean, I'm sure some people can, and if you practice, you probably could, but you can still do it, and that's the point. So we have things like we hear things like money doesn't grow on trees. Yes, we say the same thing. That's all limiting beliefs. So things that we believe about ourselves that are actually not true. My grandson has just come back, so there might be a bit of noise in the background. Um, so yeah, so limiting beliefs. internal locus of control is very important. So that was my key phase. So we'll just wrap it up now. And if you've got any questions, if you're watching the replay, I will keep checking it for any questions to answer. So yeah, just give me good questions. So I've got a website which is appearlinglife.com, and then a Facebook page is all on there, and my email address and my YouTube channel. So I'd love to hear from you to for any more information. Get to hear from you, and yeah, sorry about that. So I'd love to hear from you. Any questions or for any other topics that you'd like to hear from me. I have a webinar every month, and I focus a lot on stress and weight management. And so my next webinar will probably be along those lines of stress. In terms of how everything is connected, and like I said in the beginning, I'll just show my face. Like I said in the beginning, there we go. Like I said in the beginning, mindset is a very important part of changing. And I hope to see you later and speak to you soon. Bye for now.